Good morning and welcome to an excellent episode of Daybreak. I'm your host, Taylor Fife.
And I'm your fluffy bunny, Royce Jones, welcoming you to our Easter episode of Daybreak.
Our top stories this morning start with what adventures you can take around the city for this Easter holiday weekend.
And what clubs on campus are electing new board members.
Join us on our very own Easter egg hunt here on Daybreak. Start your morning with us, only on Daybreak. So, rain, go away, coming back another day, am I right?
That's what I'm saying. You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. So take that rain away.
It's been terrorizing us.
It really has. I've been having my umbrella. I probably have umbrella marks in his hand,
I know.
honestly. But I do have to say, I've been enjoying the little taste of spring weather we've had. I was marching down the street all
Yes.
confident, feeling good with that fresh air
Yeah.
hitting my face
It
today.
does feel good to have those heavy winter furry coats off.
I know, seriously. Yeah, well, we do have Brianna McCall over with the weather report. Brianna, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. So it looks like the Easter Bunny has been bringing us some nice weather for this weekend. And as you can see over here, for Friday, it is going to be raining, but throughout the weekend, we will see some sunshine. Starting on Saturday, we have a high of 56 and a low of 33. And moving on to Sunday, on Easter and April Fool's Day, we will have a little bit of clouds, but we will see some sun with a high of 46 and a low of 27. And going on throughout the week, we will start off with a high of 53 and a low of 42 on Monday. And for Tuesday, the joke's on us because although it will be a nice high of 70 degrees, we will see some clouds on that day. And then going on for the rest of the week, on Wednesday, we will see a high of 49 and a low of 33 with some clouds as well. And for Thursday, we will also see some clouds with a high in the high of 40s and the low 20s. That's all I have for this week. Now let's give it back to you guys over at the couch.
Good, Brianna, thank you. So it looks like we are getting rid of some of that winter weather. It's moving on out, and spring is slowly chugging behind coming in.
Yeah, that's 70 degrees on Tuesday, I'm sorry. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, so am I. But everybody, here is your city and campus news. 2 suspects have been arrested and charged with the death of a man found dead in the south side of Oakland Monday. Investigators identified the suspects as 21-year-old Velman Dowling and 22-year-old Shane Craighead of Pittsburgh. The incident happened around 5 o'clock Monday evening when victim Hassan Ishmael Abdurrab's body was found dead on the 3200 block of Ward Street in Oakland. The two are being charged with criminal homicide and are currently being held in the Allegheny County Jail.
Mayor Bill Peduto is taking some steps to make city buildings breastfeeding friendly. Peduto issued an executive order Wednesday stating the Office of Management and Budget must consider the installment of lactation rooms when planning renovations or building new city facilities. In a press release, Peduto said, quote, "It is critical that we promote gender equity in the city of Pittsburgh, specifically in our facilities. I believe that all mothers in Pittsburgh deserve a safe, sanitary, and private place to breastfeed and pump breast milk for their children. The spaces will also be open to guests in the facilities. The city currently has 2 lactation rooms, one in the City County building and one in the John P. Robbins Civic Building. The executive order went into effect immediately."
If you don't have anything to do this Easter weekend, here's some fun stuff going around the city that'll be sure to keep you entertained. Phibbs Conservatory is holding its Spring Flower Show. The show promises room after room of bright and blooming spring flowers, including daffodils, tulips, and hyacinths. Tickets range from $11.95 to $17.95 if you want to check that out. The National Aviary is also having some great events coming up, including an Easter parade, Easter story time, and of course, pictures with none other than the Easter Bunny himself. And general admission for that starts at $14. Children 2 and under are free for that. And lastly, happening today, the Pittsburgh Zoo is having its Zoo Hop to Spring event. They'll have an egg hunt for kids, craft tables, and more. Plus, the animals will have some fun on their own. Visitors can watch as the animals find eggs filled with Easter treats hidden in their habitats. Tickets start at $12 if you want to be there.
United Student Government President Robert Bertha received a letter from the university's administration in response to last week's concerns about the weather. Point Park decided to keep the campus open despite the heavy snow and icy conditions last Wednesday. The letter was signed by both Provost and Senior Vice President John Pearson and Vice President of Student Affairs and Dean of Students Keith Palo. The letter states that, quote, "The welfare of our students, staff, and faculty is always our main concern in the decision-making process when we are faced with inclement weather." The letter goes on to explain the process in which the university followed that day in order to determine to keep the campus open. The letter also states that they made the final decision to keep the campus open because, quote, "The conditions downtown were relatively good." According to the letter, the university continued to monitor the weather throughout the day and knew that some areas outside of the city experienced more snow and hazardous driving conditions than around campus. The university suggested that in these situations, students should make independent decisions and not come to campus if it is not safe to drive from their area. The letter concluded with Pearson and Palo welcoming recommendations from President Bertha and students for ways to improve the university's weather protocols.
As we approach the end of the spring semester, many clubs on campus are announcing their new executive board members for the 2018-2019 academic year. The Black Student Union announced on their Facebook page on Tuesday that the new president will be Brandon Rogers and Vice President Prim Green. The Campus Activities Board also announced that Kate Smith will be returning as the club's executive director. We'll have to wait, though, a little bit longer to find out who will hold seats in the United Student Government. The voting for the 2018 USG elections is still ongoing, and you can vote until today at 11:50 p.m. for who you want to see become the new president, vice president, as well as new senators.
Are you looking for a healthy way to relieve your end of semester stress? Well, the Campus Activities Board is hosting a luau-themed event on April 16th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. in Village Park. Students who come to the event will have the chance to smash away their stress by smashing plates. CAB says there will also be free popsicles and music and promises it will be a, quote, slamming good time. Now, I think that's a great idea for CAB to do for students. It's during this time of the year, students are stressed out. All they're thinking about is finals, summer vacation, internships, and what better ways to relieve all that stress by smashing some plates?
I think so too. Also, what better way to release some stress than chilling out and listening to some music? That's right. Coming up after the break, we have a special guest in the studio who's going to play some sweet Easter songs for us. Stay tuned.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a look of somebody who needs you. You're lost out there and you're all alone. Life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
Spending just 7 minutes climbing stairs each day cuts your risk of a heart attack in half over 10 years. Sure, elevators are convenient, but you burn twice the number of calories just going upstairs than you do while jogging. Think about how long you spend waiting for elevators. The average person spends the equivalent of 2 years waiting for elevators over the course of their lifetime. Don't let that be you. Save time and increase energy. Next time, take the stairs.
Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody. Today in the studio, a special guest. We normally have him around the studio doing audio or other crew work. You may have also seen him doing some entertainment scripts just a couple weeks ago, but today he's in the studio for a special performance to debut one of his new songs. I'd like to introduce B. Till to you guys. Thank you, B, for coming on with us today.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Now,
Yes.
what do you have in store for us today?
Well, I'm just releasing a new song today called Photo Booth. It's a little bit about the juxtaposition between the 20th century of going into photo booths and making memories, and 21st century of taking a phone and just snapping a picture, and just how that has really evolved and changed.
Wow, okay, so how long have you been working on the song?
This particular song, I came up with the music for about 5-6 years ago, and I just kind of had these chords, had nothing to do with them. Just kind of, oh, what can I do with this? And then finally, I went to a friend's house last fall, and I saw he had said that him and his wife had taken this picture in the photo booth at some mall or something. And I thought, wow, that's a great idea, with everything going on today with Snapchat and Instagram, to have, kind of in the olden days, you had an actual photo booth you went into and you kind of made memories that way. And now these photos just disappear in 5 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. Now, where can people find more about your music?
Well, right now I'm offering a deal. You can download the single for free if you go online to smarturl.it/PPU.
All right, well, I'm ready to hear it, B.
Yeah, me too.
I'm ready to go.
Good luck.
All right,
Take it away.
take it away.
Thank you.
Past the photo booth in this ghost town mall, I see the photo strips that hang on people's walls. They tell a story that you can't find on an app. They paint a picture that you just can't swipe or snap. This photo booth's gonna change my life. It's gonna make me feel alright. This photo booth's letting in the light, gonna make me feel alright. Feel alright. Feel alright. I'm trying to find the place where the future meets the present. I don't know where it is, but the journey is unpleasant. So many pictures, but they disappear. So many hearts, but are they all sincere? This photo booth's gonna change my life. It's gonna make me feel alright. This photo booth's letting in the light, gonna make me feel alright. Feel alright. Feel alright. Light and dark, love and sorrow. Keep on fighting for tomorrow. Make a list, write things down for the day when you take the crown. For the day when you wear the crown, yeah. This photo booth's gonna change my life. It's gonna make me feel alright. This photo booth's letting in the light, gonna make me feel alright. Feel alright. Feel alright. This photo booth's gonna change my life. It's gonna make me feel alright. This photo booth's letting in the light, gonna make me feel alright. Feel alright. Feel alright. Feel alright.
All right, B.
Thank you.
Wow, and you said how long you were working on that?
6 years. I had just the chords.
Wow.
And then just this past fall, I came up with the lyrics and just kind of, put it all together, put the bridge and the verse, all out of one progression, one chord sequence.
Awesome, and again, this is a Daybreak debut, right?
that's
You tell
right.
us? Okay, and
That's
tell
right.
them one more time where they can find the song if
Yeah,
they
go
want.
to smarturl.it/PPU.
All right, B, well, thank you for coming on and playing for us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Coming up after the break, you guys, what's happening in the NFL?
And what new law is striking controversy in Congress?
Keep them bunny ears perked up because we have all that and more here on Daybreak.
you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be.
Spending just 7 minutes climbing stairs each day cuts your risk of a heart attack in half over 10 years. Sure, elevators are convenient, but you burn twice the number of calories just going upstairs than you do while jogging. Think about how long you spend waiting for elevators. The average person spends the equivalent of 2 years waiting for elevators over the course of their lifetime. Don't let that be you. Save time and increase energy. Next time, take the stairs.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Megan Masiosi with your latest sports update. The University of Pittsburgh basketball team hired a new head coach this week after firing Kevin Stallings, who failed to have a winning season. According to USA Today, the Panthers hired Jeff Capel, who was Duke's assistant coach for the past 7 seasons. He comes with a pretty impressive resume, with 175 wins and 110 losses, but he led the Oklahoma Sooners to the Elite Eight in 2009. Even though the fans are excited for a new coach, players, not so much. Since Stallings' departure, over half the players have asked to transfer schools, but Capel is expected to sign a 7-year contract with the team early next week. From the court to the turf, the Steelers are making major changes to the defense this offseason to try and rebuild the Steel Curtain. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, they signed inside linebacker John Bosick to a 2-year contract. Bosick has been in the league for 5 years and has played on 4 different teams: the Bears, Patriots, Lions, and the Colts. He led the Colts defense with 97 tackles until he suffered a season-ending injury and missed the last 2 games. He has had a little bit of the injury bug, but has rebounded back each time. Bosick is expected to replace Ryan Shazier after he suffered a spinal cord injury in December 2017. The secondary is also getting a makeover as well, with the addition of ex-Packers safety, Morgan Burnett. Burnett has played all 9 seasons with the Packers and was voted defensive captain twice. Burnett will replace Mike Mitchell as a starting safety after Mitchell was let go after 4 seasons. And from the turf to the courtroom? Yes, the NFL just changed the catch rule again after many close and controversial calls this year, including the Jesse James touchdown catch against the New England Patriots. According to NFL.com, the NFL eliminated the, quote, going to the ground and surviving, end quote, portion of the rule. However, James said this new rule did not make him feel better. He said, quote, it should have been a touchdown either way. Whether it was the old rule or this new rule, to reverse something on review, it has to be clear cut. I feel like they didn't do a good job on that. It's nice to have the rule clear, end quote. The NFL will review the helmet-to-helmet rule early next week. That's it for sports. Let's head over to the Daybreak News Desk with Sarah Gibson. Sarah, what do we need to know in national news?
Thanks, Megan. Hundreds of people occupied the foyer of the Sacramento City Hall on Tuesday night to speak out against the death of Stephon Clark. Clark, who was 22 years old, was shot in the backyard of his grandmother's house. According to police were investigating a vandalism complaint when they saw him, and they mistook his cell phone for a gun. The Sacramento City Council held a special meeting on Tuesday evening to discuss the tragedy and hear public comments about the shooting. Among those of the public who spoke were Stephonte Clark, the brother of Stephon Clark. After getting a hold of the audience's attention, Clark advocated for action by the public, resource centers for the underprivileged, and the recognition of those protesting outside the meeting hall for Stefan. On Wednesday, all 22 women of the Senate expressed in a letter their disappointment with the upper chamber's lack of changes to the Congressional Accountability Act, which is the legislation that covers complaints in the legislative branch of government. The current U.S. law states that accusers must undergo a cooling-off period before filing suit against anyone, which includes counseling, mediation, and a 1-month waiting period. This legislation has come to be widely criticized in the wake of the Me Too movement. The letter received a survey in which 4 out of 10 women in congressional staffer positions felt that sexual harassment was a problem on Capitol Hill. The letter said, quote, "No longer can we allow the perpetrators of these crimes to hide behind a 23-year-old law," unquote. That's all for national news. Let's hop on over to our 2 tasty peeps, Royce and Taylor.
After the break, Down the Lane with Delaney is back with some familiar faces.
Stay with us because you only find it here on Daybreak.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
What's one word to describe CAB?
Welcoming.
Community.
Creative.
Experiences.
Family. Openness.
Pineapple.
The Campus Activities Board is a student-run organization that consists of 7 different committees. Each focuses on event planning, marketing, and administrative activities. Join us in organizing the juiciest events on campus, from late-night bingo to festive dances to our team bonding meetings. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Point Park Cap, or like us on Facebook at Campus Activities Board at Point Park University.
Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. I'm Josh Troop alongside Jess Paterchak.
Defending his decision to kick out 15 Cuban diplomats from the United States.
Thanks, Allison. Fitness on Demand has returned to Point Park.
Residents fear that Mount Agung will have a repeat of 1963's eruption.
2-star NFL quarterbacks made the headlines this week after wrapping up.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's your news tonight. For Nick Tomarello, I'm Alex Grubbs. Have a great night.
Welcome back to Daybreak and welcome to Down the Lane with Delaney. I'm your host, Delaney Bomis, and today I have Daybreak debut Emma Federkyle and our sports reporter, Megan Masiosi. So welcome to Down the Lane.
Thank you. This is exciting.
Yeah, is this your first time on Down the Lane for both of you and your first time on Daybreak, so that's exciting.
Yes.
So today we're going to be talking about the NHL playoffs. So let's start with the Penguins in the Metropolitan Division. You want to start?
Yeah, this division is super close. You have the Washington Capitals, the Devils, the Flyers, and the Blue Jackets all right up there. Now, I understand the Capitals are kind of running away. They have 99 points right now. Pens are sitting at 92, as well as the Flyers, and the Blue Jackets have 91. They each have 5 games left, so this is going to be really close. They're playing each other. I mean, this is anyone's division right now.
Oh, it really is, and I think that it's going to be really tight between the Flyers and the Pens, especially because they have the same points right now. Yeah. But the Pens do play the Caps on April 1st, this upcoming Sunday. So I think that's going to be a game to watch, honestly.
Absolutely. I mean, they're very well matched between Oshie and Ovechkin and Sid and Malkin, so it's going to be a great game.
Oh, definitely. And the key players for the Penguins are heating up with Kessel, Malkin, Sid. Kessel's in the line for in the race for the Art Ross Trophy, so that's very exciting for everybody in Pittsburgh right now.
I know. I'm really excited for it, especially since I know Brassard just went out, and I really hoped he could kind of click with the team more. But, I mean, I don't know. I think that we have such a depth in our farm system that the Pens will find a way to get it done.
Oh, no, I agree. Sullivan has done such a good job with being able to keep these guys coming up, like Zach Ashton-Reese. Like, he's doing a great job, and we've just pulled him up. So that's, I mean, outstanding for the Pens right now. They're going to do great.
I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a great thing for the Pens this coming playoff season.
I totally agree with you. I think that Everybody is like so worried about them because they just won the 2 cups, but I think they're going to make a great run, if not the run for the whole way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is usually the time when the Pens shine. I mean, they never do well at the beginning of the season. Each of the last 2 seasons they won the Cup, they were terrible September through December. But January, Sullivan just tells them, hey, it's time to go, and they put in the work and they get it done.
I think it's always also like important to note that like the Pens, yeah, like people always have them down like in the beginning of the season, yeah, but like they're always a team that's down, but they're not out.
No, I agree. It's a long season, and they pull through when it matters, and that's the best part of the Pens, I think, personally.
Exactly, yeah.
Definitely starts with their farm system as well. I can't talk enough about that. They brought up Zach Ashen-Reese. Simone, he just came back from injury as well. Even our goalie situation, we could go and get rid of Fleury, and we still have 2 amazing goalies with Casey DeSmith, who nobody even knew who that was until a couple months ago.
No, I totally agree. Well, moving on to the west side of the country, let's talk the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, let's be real here. First expansion team to make playoffs in their first year, incredible. They had so many firsts this year. First expansion team to reach 100 points in their debut season. This is just outstanding. What do you think about them?
I like to say that the Vegas Knights are the Pittsburgh Penguins of the West. I mean, first of all, they stole half of our players. They have Fleury, they have Neal, they have Pouliot. Then we traded Ryan Reeves to them. I mean, literally, they are the Penguins of the West. I think, obviously, maybe I'm a little biased because I do love Fleury. He was a Pittsburgher. But their goaltending situation is good. I think picking up James Neal. But even so, William Karlsson, he has kind of been like their Evgeny Malkin on that team. And, I mean, I'm not shocked that the Vegas Knights did as well as they did because they did take all the players.
They had so many great players.
But it could also be something like you have all these egos. How do you get them to play together? And I think they've really found their chemistry and they've picked up, and I think they could be in contention for the Stanley Cup this year.
No, I agree. They have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time with Nashville because Nashville is dominating again this season. But I think they'll do just fine, honestly. They have, like you said, so many good players, and those egos are meshing together quite well. So I think that they're going to make a good run as well, and I kind of hope that the Penguins see them sometime. That would be very nice.
Yeah, I'm sure Pittsburgh and Vegas would both love to see that again.
That would be a heck of a series, let me tell you. But they got to get past the Preds first. They are actually the top over there. So.
Oh, I know. The Preds are incredible right now. I just can't even believe it.
I know. 2 teams back-to-back, they're in the Cup, and they're ready to go into the playoffs again. Amazing.
And moving on to a team that didn't make the playoffs in a long time, which I am quite sad about personally. So the Blackhawks, first time in 10 years that they haven't made the playoffs.
Yeah. So that's kind of like everybody was shocked and surprised by that one, but although, like, this season, the Blackhawks, you know, every time you check, like, the stats or anything, it's just like, well, they lost another game, you know? And, like, this season, I think, like, a lot of Blackhawks fans didn't know what to do with that or how to handle it. So I think it's a new feeling for a lot of people in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, they went on a 10-game losing streak earlier this season, which I thought was kind of crazy because they reacquired, Brendan Saad, who was a part of that Stanley Cup team when they won those 3 cups in the span of I think it was like 6 or 7 years. So I think for Chicago, it's a shock to the fan base and to them as well because they are very deep. I mean, they have Jonathan Toews, they have Patrick Kane. There's talent on that team. It's just it didn't mesh, even though they ended up beating the Pens earlier in the season, 10-1 or something?
Yeah, they kind of blew us out of the water there.
Yeah, they looked amazing. I was surprised that they didn't make the playoffs.
I was very shocked because they basically have their old Cup team back, like the majority of the players at least. So it's very shocking to me, very shocking to the Blackhawks, but I mean, I think personally this NHL playoffs is going to be interesting, and I'm very excited to watch.
I am as well.
I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I love playoff hockey.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today, so back to Royce and Taylor over at the couch.
Thanks, Delaney. After the break, we have everything you need to know with tech and entertainment news.
You'll find the latest updates here on Daybreak.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a looks of somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere
Spending just 7 minutes climbing stairs each day cuts your risk of a heart attack in half over 10 years. Sure, elevators are convenient, but you burn twice the number of calories just going upstairs than you do while jogging. Think about how long you spend waiting for elevators. The average person spends the equivalent of 2 years waiting for elevators over the course of their lifetime. Don't let that be you. Save time and increase energy. Next time, take the stairs.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Marley Pinchak here with your timely tech news. Apple is ready to dominate school classrooms with an updated, faster iPad. This new iPad keeps a few features from the original iPad, including the 9.7-inch size, as well as front and rear-facing cameras, support for FaceTime calls, and HD video recording. While maintaining a determined focus to benefit education purposes, the device will cost $299 for schools, while costing $329 for consumers, providing teachers with a major discount. Apple CEO Tim Cook and his team ventured to Lane Tech High School in Chicago to discuss Apple's creative education plans. The most significant update to keep up with Apple's theme of education is the included Apple Pencil. Apple executive Greg Joswiak announced at the meeting saying, instead of dissecting frogs, students can virtually dissect frogs with the Apple Pencil. Although Apple has schools as their target for marketing, the new Apple iPad is available to everyone. You can pre-order your new iPad Tuesday, March 3rd. Patients suffering from long-term physical pain are highly encouraged to try out the Tesla suit. Originally, the suit was only designed for playing intense virtual reality games, along with the required goggle headset to view the game. The full gaming experience can activate warm and cold sensations, as well as stimulate nerves and muscles to actually mimic the pain of a gunshot and wounds. Of course, if you are not a serious gamer, you have the option to just purchase the suit alone without any of the harmful effects. With an appropriate amount of muscle stimulation and temperature sensations applied, this advanced suit is testing its abilities to actually cure muscle pain for healthcare purposes. There's everything you need to know in tech. Let's head over to Wyatt Cree with the latest entertainment wrap-up. Wyatt?
Thanks, Marley. Let's start off with the news everyone has been losing sleep over. Who bit Beyonce? Yes, you heard me right. In a recent interview with GQ magazine, actress Tiffany Haddish revealed that an anonymous actress bit Beyonce in the face at an after-party for Jay-Z's 444 concert back in December. Haddish claims Queen Bee stormed off to Jay-Z to tell him about the altercation later in the evening. Haddish reconvened with Beyonce, who told Tiff not to beat up the alleged face biter because she was, quote, on drugs, just chill. No confirmation on who bit Beyonce yet, but I'm sure the Beehive will take care of them. Also, the Cardi B invasion is in full force. The reigning rap princess released news on her Instagram that her debut album, titled Invasion of Privacy, is being released, wait for it, next week. Just days before releasing the album artwork, Cardi let fans know via Instagram Live that she had recently filmed not one but 3 music videos, a commercial, and then headed back to the studio for some last-minute final touches on the album. Cardi's album drops April 6th, and we are sure it'll be a banger. And last but not least, just weeks after announcing their indefinite hiatus, 2 Fifth Harmony girls have revealed solo plans. Normani Corday, who recently collabed with Khaled for their track Love Lies on the Love Simon soundtrack, revealed that her debut solo album is over 1/3 finished. Normani has been in the studio with producers and songwriters like Victoria Monet and Esther Dean. Similarly, Lauren Jareggi opened up about her solo endeavors and a new spread with Playboy. Jareggi has done some major high-profile collabs prior to the end of Fifth Harmony, including tracks with Halsey, Ty Dolla $ign, and Steve Aoki. In her Playboy interview, Jareggi says that her upcoming solo singles will be much different than Fifth Harmony, with many influences from her Latin American roots. There's your entertaining entertainment news. Now, I heard somebody might be crushing egg on their face. Royce, Taylor, is this true?
That's right. Coming up after the break, we're going to get a little bit yolky, but you have to stay tuned to find out what that means.
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be.
Spending just 7 minutes climbing stairs each day cuts your risk of a heart attack in half over 10 years. Sure, elevators are convenient, but you burn twice the number of calories just going upstairs than you do while jogging. Think about how long you spend waiting for elevators. The average person spends the equivalent of 2 years waiting for elevators over the course of their lifetime. Don't let that be you. Save time and increase energy. Next time, take the stairs.
Let's go.
All right, everybody, getting a little yolky. That's what Taylor said before we left for the break. Well, now you finally know what that means. We're playing egg roulette in light of Easter today. Now we're going beyond the traditional egg hunt and everything here. We don't strive for average at Daybreak. So let me explain the rules of the game. Let me introduce Wyatt Cree, otherwise known as Vanna Egg White, for today's game.
Vanna Egg White.
In this egg carton, there are 10 eggs, minus 2 because our egg cooker accidentally broke 2 of them, so we only have 10 today. Now, what's going to happen is 5 of them are boiled, 5 of them are not. Henceforth, egg roulette. We are going to crack them on our heads. Once you touch it, it's yours. You've got to crack it. There's no way of knowing if it's hard boiled or if we're going to be covered in egg yolks.
Ooh.
So,
I'm scared.
that also explains the trash bags. Okay. I suppose I could never be as ready as I'll be now, so let's jump in.
First?
I don't know. Let's rock, paper, scissors. That's probably the most appropriate thing to do. All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right.
That means Royce goes first.
Okay, let's see. If I were a hard-boiled egg, I would be this one. Okay, now again, as we said, once you touch it, it's yours. So, looks like I'm gonna be cracking this on my head here. Nice egg shape. Okay, here it goes, everybody. Can maybe a silent. Oh! Okay, well, did I also mention that you only get 2 times to find a raw egg? That was my one, so it looks like I'm already losing.
If he gets one more, he's a loser in this game.
Uh-huh. It's in my mouth, I think. Do we have that?
Okay, let me. Okay.
I also want to just say, you heard it here first. I better not have an eye infection after this. It's in my eye. I do think I need a paper towel. It's in my mouth, too.
Okay. While he's doing that, I'll try one.
Okay. Thank you.
Here I go.
Uh-oh, Taylor.
I'm scared.
Uh-oh, Taylor.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, this one might be hard.
Is it?
Okay, no, it's wrong.
It's wrong?
No, it's not wrong. It's the
Oh.
hard one. I
Okay.
got lucky.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm still nursing myself back to health. If you guys, now I know raw eggs are like some sort of special diet for all you health fanatics out there. I just tasted it. It's not too bad, but
It's supposed to be really good for your face, so that's.
it is. And one of our talent told us, thank you. It was actually Wyatt. Didn't you tell me it's good for your hair?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's give this another shot.
Another shot.
Okay. Everyone, let's see. Now, Taylor, what are you guys doing for Easter? I'm just curious while I choose this.
I'm actually not doing anything. Not doing that much for Easter this year.
Yeah?
Probably just gonna stay in a little bit and watch some TV or some Netflix or something like that. What are you doing?
Okay. I think I'm gonna go see my family and just eat and
Crack
watch
eggs
this.
on his head.
Crack eggs on my head. Okay, count me in because I think I'm too nervous to smash those on my face at this point.
Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, it looks like I lost, everybody. Royce lost the game. All right. You know what? I'm starting to think we need to ask our I feel like they're all raw. Are these all raw?
No, because
Yours was hard-boiled.
Mine was hard-boiled.
I was set up.
I think we should make Taylor smash one for the win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take one.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll
smash
smash
one
it.
for the win. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Are you serious?
It's hard-boiled again.
Hard-boiled
All right.
queen.
Well, you know what? It must. I'm sensing some sort. Somebody must have a vendetta against me. Maybe I did the Easter Bunny wrong years ago or
The
something.
unlucky bunny.
All right, everyone. Well, I'm the unlucky bunny, and you're the happy bunny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vanna Egg White, for your assistance.
All right. Well, that's it for Daybreak. Tune in next week for the news you need. I'm your host, Taylor Fife.
And I'm Royce Jones, hoping your news is good news.